This is Melissa Thomas for Florida National News here at the final day of the Orlando Film Festival. We're here for the premiere of Loving Henry with the director, Robert Allen Black. And please introduce yourself as well, sir.
David Haspel, the producer.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, gentlemen. I know you guys are looking forward to the premiere. So real briefly, I know you just wrapped up your Orlando Film Festival interview, and in the interview you mentioned the kind of travel, the extensive travel that you guys had to do, and you mentioned that it was a production that was actually 14 years in the making. So kind of speak to how that travel affected life here, like any folks you had to leave behind here, and how it felt to come back to wrap up, because you mentioned that the last of the shooting ended here.
Yes. Well, my life as a commercial director for a long time was spent traveling. I mean, I'm gone to some part of the world all the time. And so I'm so used to traveling, I don't know, except I do wish my cat hadn't left recently. My children were, they're very supportive. They've been very, very supportive through everything, and if I was up for an award, they'd be there. So it was, I think the most difficult thing is I'm used to getting things finished quickly. On the other side of the prism, where you're doing an independent project, and I was saying a reporter last summer when they were inducting our editor into the Editorial Hall of Fame, they were asking me about Loving Henry, and I said most of my life I was so lucky to get paid what I paid to do something I love so much. I do it for free, and then I actually did something I had to do for free and pay for it. So it's but it's been a great experience. I think it's been a great experience for everything. The love of my life, Trish O'Keefe, the photographer, traveled with us all over. I became so close to Henri and Linda. That was land with the subject of the film. It was incredible to see them. They fell in love in the movie, and it affected my home life, but I think it was painful because it just was going on and on and on, and you always figured there'd be something else to shoot. So I don't know if I have a great answer for that, but that's my answer.
It's an honest answer, though.
Yeah. Some people thought I was crazy. Mm-hmm.
I had a lot more hair and it was a different color when the project started. My youngest child was 10, she's 25 now. And she's very excited to see the film too. She said, "Dad, you've been working on this my whole life." And I said, "Well, I'm making the film really, it's for you so that you will have some understanding of what people have been through, what they have to go through to have meaningful lives." And I just also like to add that I was in New York City during 9/11 and New Orleans during Hurricane Katrina, and it was things that I learned from Henri making this film that helped me deal with being in those circumstances. I would say to myself, what would Henri do in this situation? And then that would be the next move that I would make. So in many ways, I owe so much to him from just learning from what he has been able to share with us and hopefully in this film, and that's what we hope people will take away from the picture.
Awesome. And briefly, you had mentioned that this is your first experience with the Orlando Film Festival, like having a film in the festival. So, I mean, just kind of speak to your anticipation for the premiere, especially with the Orlando audience.
Well, I just think it's appropriate because we started this movie 14 years ago here, and we finished here. I came here started with a large crew in 14. I came here with a tiny crew of two of us at the end of 2014. So it seems appropriate. I'm interested to see what people think here, and because Henri was a part of life here, so I think that's that's really important.
We just hope that everyone can be more like Henri. I think if they were and they are, that this would be a much better planet for everybody. And that's what I hope people will take away from this film. Robert did a marvelous job of capturing Henri's soul, spirit on film, and I just hope everyone appreciates and enjoys it. as much as we do, and I feel like I was privileged to be able to produce this movie, despite the fact that it took a little bit longer than we thought it would, but it was worth every minute of it.
It take about 13 and a half years longer than he thought. I thought it would take something, but anyway, there you have it.
Awesome. Nope. Congratulations to both of you. We look forward to the movie.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you
Great
so
meeting.
much.
Great meeting you.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
We're going to break the records here today for people showing up, I guess. They're moving us into the large theater now. I think that's exciting. This is made for the people, and it really is. Henry Landworth, and I've witnessed it 100 times, he saw homeless people, he would go across the street to help them. When he ran hotels as a young man in Florida, and in the old days, if you were a person of color and played on a baseball team, guess what? You had to stay in another hotel. Not Henry. You stay at my hotel. That man is extraordinary. And all of us who watched him and experienced him, and I feel lucky because Trish and I were part of that life where John Glenn would be coming over for dinner, all these different guys, Senator John Glenn, I should say. And so it's a privilege, and he's a treasure because he made it happen, in Orlando. So it's a blessing. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.